Good evening and welcome back to the Mindful Model Makers Workshop. Now tonight what I'm doing, I've glued on the LCUT roof, I made a video the other night of me cutting the sheet up into strips. Now what I'm doing, as you can see down here, there's some bits, the little white bits where what's happened, the glue has pulled the top off. I'm not going to worry about that because I'll paint that in. Where there's a tile or so missing, I've cut a narrow strip, and what I'm doing is I'm just going to put a little spot of glue in, just like so, just in there, and then I'm going to get this little piece here. So you haven't got to be too fussy about it because it's not really going to, in the grand scheme of things, when it's on the layout, it's not really going to show. So I wouldn't worry. And of course, if you really look at an old slate roof, it's not that brilliant. So I'm just cutting small bits off, and I'm going to patch that up. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to just touch that in with a little bit of acrylic paint, and I'm going to redo the window sills again because they didn't seem to come up very good. I thought they seemed to dry, and it's dried a bit lighter than what I thought it was going to be. So I'm just cutting up these small little bits of paper and just sticking them on like so. And as you can see, there's coming down there now, just tidying that up. There, I think, just needs a little tiny bit of glue underneath that, just like so. That's it. Always get a cloth and just wipe that off. That will hold that down. There is a barge board bit that's got to go down yet, so a lot of this will be covered and neatened up. So the thing is with it, I think sometimes it's more fun putting these odd bits on afterwards, just to show. So just put a little bit of glue there. That's it. And stick this last bit in. And this will neaten up the roof. So this is all I do. So it doesn't have to be too perfect. So there we are with that. Right. What I should do now is find a little paintbrush, which I got in this tray here. So I'll just have a look which one we can use. Fineish one I think we need. That one there looks good enough for me. Right, little fine brush I've got here. So, right. So as I said, this is what I got out of the works. It's just a cheap tubes of acrylic paint, but it will come up, and I think you'll find that it's not worth buying expensive paint for things like this. So I've got a bit of black and a bit of white. I know you can't see where I am at the moment because I'm just mixing it up, but I don't think you really need to see that. I'll bring it up then if you really want to have a look. I'll show you. I can so here you can just try and mix the colour in to what you want, and it's just kind of just touch it in a little bit. You can always kind of rub it off like that with your finger, put a bit in there like so, in that bit, bring it off again, and that's it really. You can just, that's all you need to really do. Get rid of the white edges of the paper. It's not going to worry too much. So I'll just take off some of that. You've got some bits of white edges down here. I will go around and do all the white edges, but now you can see that that's all you really need to do. You don't have to be a perfectionist in order to hide up all what you've done and the little errors that there were, because on a real old roof that this type of building would have will be full of imperfections, broken tiles and all sorts. So I've trimmed up down that side. What I will do is getting to this area here. This is a bit where I would probably just go down like so and just get rid of the white board on the end there like so. So you just got to mix a bit of black and white together and just go along and bring that in. You can put different shades all the way down if you want to, but all you're doing is hiding up the card really. Quite simple to do. Don't be frightened of it. That's the thing. You sometimes think, oh, I don't know, I've got to do that, I've got to do that. But once you get into it, and then afterwards you think, oh, yeah, that looks good. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't. You can, like, I've done the windowsills and they don't seem to have shown up very well. So we'll do a couple in a minute and see what how good we can get them. So, right, so there's the edge of the roof done, like so. I can go under there. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I think perhaps I will do that bit as well. So let's mix up a little bit of that and just go along, getting rid of the white edge. That bit there. This has got some of the cut lines of the tile in it as well. So we're just going along now. And you can see how the roof, where I did them in layers, you can see how it's given it a little bit more detail than just gluing on a flat piece of card. I just couldn't kind of bring myself to doing that. So that's why. But these LCUT models, all right, I know I haven't built this how it was intended, but the guy who's mainly designing the layout got this building some time ago, not to do as the brick, but to go with it, because it does lend itself for you to build it how you want, really. I've got to put a couple of strengtheners in this roof as well, just to get this along a bit, so you can see what I'm doing. That's it. Yeah, I've got to put a couple of strengtheners in to hold up the centre of the roof. Otherwise, after a while, I think it will just begin to sag down. So a little bit of stuff that sticks up there. Just put that on and rub it off a little bit. That's it. Just put a little bit more black in that. It's a little bit grey, that one. But I think it's beginning to hide up the white paper edge and coming along there. So you can probably see it better like that. So that's there is a gap underneath, but there will be a board going along there as well. So there's lots of trim to go on. So this is far from finished. It's quite a lengthy process. Of course, with me, as you know, I make half a dozen things at the same time. That's you know, it's not that I get bored or anything. We're just making one thing. But I just think, if I was to just have a channel and I just make one type of thing and it just interests one kind of person, I try to find a mixture of things so that when people look back, because there's over 300 videos on the channel now, hopefully there's something for somebody. And because I'm building up quite a catalogue, and hopefully with new subscribers coming on, they do look through some of the old stuff. And if they find it quite entertaining, there'll be something for them to watch. That's the theory anyway, so I hope that will be the case. It's a job to know, because everybody has their own kind of ideas, and it's finding things. I mean, I like making things of some description, so it doesn't really matter what it is. And I do like the detail bits, because they're the bits that stop it looking like a card box and making it look like an old period building, which is what the plan is. You'll have to be the judge of whether you think that's what it really looks like, but I think it's coming on all right, personally. So, right, there we are. We've got that to the edge of that. So I've done one side and along there. Now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to do a couple of the window sills. I'm going to try and bring that in a little bit like so, so that you can see what's going on there. I'm mixing up a bit more paint. I think it needs to be a little bit darker. So we'll just put that on there like so and see how that goes. So what I'll probably do is go along with them laying on their back and then stand it up and then go along and do the top face as well. So just try and get the right kind of grey in there to make them stand out a little bit more than what they did. They were a bit wishy-washy. So that's a couple of them done like so. Let's stretch that out a bit. Go along here. So bit by bit it's coming. So if you do it and it's not quite right, then you can go over it again once it's dry. So I don't think there's too much wrong with that. I haven't worried about underneath too much at the moment, but I will do, because before the model actually goes onto the layer, you've got to have a look at all the angles that people will view it at. So if you've missed something and someone's standing there and they're looking at a bare piece of card or something because you've been doing so and so and you haven't really noticed, that's something you do have to watch out for with things that, because I would imagine that the layout at one point will be exhibited in an exhibition. So I think that's our plan for doing it. So it would be good to be responsible for some of the work. I got a little bit on the card there, but that's not really going to notice too much, I don't think. I'm just going to wash the brush off with a bit of water and just see if I can just wash that out a little bit there. Get that off there, like so. That's it. Good. Obviously there's going to be a little bit of weathering done to this at a later stage, because I'm not one for just putting plain things in that's unweathered. There will be some bits growing up it, round it, on it, in different places. So we'll get that done in as well, and bits where water's dripped down, because obviously I've got to get some guttering for it, and I've got to get downpipes, various other little bits to bring in the details. So there is a little kind of crane bit that's going to go on the side as well, or on the end. Right, so that's got that there like that. Now I'm going to go on top, because as you can see, hopefully, let's lean that back a bit if I can, put something behind it to prop it back on. How are we doing with that? Is that any good? Yeah, that's better, I think. Bring that back. There we are. Let's see what we can do on that one. And get in there like that. Yeah, I think this is a much better colour to do the windowsills with. I don't think the other, because this will lighten again as it dries, because that's what it seems to do. So there we are, little spot on the end. Yeah, I think that's looking a bit better actually. So I'll just perhaps put a little bit more white into that grey. It's very hard to get this at the colour that you actually really want. But of course the texture will change, because don't forget, if these are cut out of stone, stone is not always the same colour right the way through. you do get bits, and of course where the rainwater's on it and various bits, it will discolour it in different places, and you might get a bit of moss growing on it, all that kind of thing. So nothing should be that uniformed. Anyway, there we are. So that's how we're bringing the windowsills up a little bit. I painted them the other day, and then I looked at them again and I thought, no, they're not quite how I want them. So I'm not actually following a picture or anything for this. I got some ideas of what people had done with this building on the LCUT website. There's people have sent in their models, so it gives you a bit of an idea. So I think, and then I just took what I think this building would look like from that, and then I've started adding bits in. So there we are. So we're just coming along the end, this bit here. That one is a little bit loose. There's a bit more water, I think, in here. Just to make it easier to brush. So it might be shaking a bit here. And that's not the camera, that's me. It's because it's resting on my hand. Like so. Right, okay, so that's got the end of the roof done, and I'm going along the windowsills. So that's it for now. What I will be doing next is to cut the roof and do the roof on the little office building that's here on the side, and I will obviously patch up down the other end, but I don't think you really need to see any of the patching up, because it's there's just a few white bits left, so we just bring them in a bit like so, take it down a bit like that. There we are, see, and that neatens the tiles up down the end. So anyway, that's a bit more of an update on the LCUT building. So I'm just going to leave that for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye now.